And I think we're live. Hey everybody, got you on the laptop this time, but don't worry, I've got the new iPad right here. So we're still going to be talking about it, and I've got it up on demo for you. Hey Neamsterdam, how's it going? Let's pause this here so I don't waste my cellular data. Hey, Leo Dye, hey, Zach's TV, Game Duty, England, Jacob Anderson, Zach is no there, Sam About, the Mining Ninja, Robert Washington, we're live, yes. Just going to let everyone filter into the live stream here. Let me refresh this a couple times, make sure, no, we're good, okay. Let me get a few pop-out chat windows going so that I can see as much of the chat as possible. There we go. Just organizing things on the chat here. Hey everyone, how's it going? Game of Duty. The 10.5 inch for normal usage and 12.9 if you say an artist and intend to use it as a full computer replacement. Interesting. Yes, we'll be talking plenty about the iPad, the new iPad Pro that I got. I also have the 12.9 inch right here so that we can compare them. And I've got an announcement to make, but I'm just going to wait until everyone's in the chat before I make it. That way I don't have to repeat myself. Oh, Jesus, thank you for saying the channel is awesome. Some people don't think so clearly, but whatever. Please talk about size difference from your 12.9 to the 10.5 and how different it is. Do you prefer the 12.9? Okay, so first of all, first of all, Sabash Kanal, thank you for your donation in the super chat. I gotta get a few more windows open here. So let everyone just filter in. First of all, let everyone just find their place so that when I'm going to make this announcement, it's nothing too major. I just want everyone to be here for it. You can all hear it at the same time. Okay. I need two windows here so that I can record super chats and the chat separately. That would help. That helps me remember. To donate, guys, just remember that you need a desktop or to use Safari and use YouTube on... If you're using YouTube on your phone or your iPad, you just got to go into Safari. You can't use the mobile app, unfortunately. But anyways, the big announcement that I wanted to talk about, which isn't that big, it's just a bit of news that I want people to be aware of. From this Friday, which I guess is today for a lot of you, all the way up till Saturday, Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be on a camping trip with my father, which it's summer for them and they're teachers, so this is their time off, which is kind of exciting for them. And they, of course, want me to join them, and I am. But I don't want you guys to fret. I am not going to be abandoning you. Do not worry. I have been working very, very hard today. I have made 2 videos in advance so that at least over the weekend you're going to get a couple more videos. They're already done right now, but I'm just scheduling their upload publishing times so that I think Friday you're going to get a video that's all about comparing these two. It's about 13 minutes long, so you're getting a pretty good sized video there. Then on Saturday you're getting a video about the state of the Apple Watch, which I think is due to talk about because we haven't talked about the Apple Watch in a tech video in a while. So, yeah, I'll be vlogging my camping trip, so if you're not subscribed to Tailosive Talks, please check it out because I'll be vlogging the trip every single day so you can see where we're camping, where we're swimming, where we're traveling on the road. Should be a fun time. I'm very excited, and we're leaving very early in the morning, but I still wanted to make sure that I live streamed late at night so that I could reach those demographics where this is the morning or the evening for you, wherever this is most convenient. So hopefully I can get to as many of you as I can. Anyway, let me look. Oh, thank you, Andrew Michelet. Thank you for your $2 super chat. You know, you're welcome to add comments when you have $2, but anyway. Have a safe journey. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, Jesus, I care about my subscribers because you guys are the ones that allow me to do what I'm doing. This channel is still incredibly small, and I can't afford necessarily to just ditch you all and just assume it's all going to be fine. But anyway, we got our super chats, and those have priority, so I'm going to talk about those. Hernan Hernandez says, which upgrade would you recommend? Refurbished 2015, 2016 MacBook Pro? Two different MacBook Pros. or 2016 MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. Keep up the good work. Hernan, I've said this before, and I'll say it to you again, even though I've covered this. I'm always going to recommend that you buy the newer version if possible. Why? It's because when you buy last year's model, when you buy the 2016, when you buy the 2015 model, it just means you're going to have to buy a new one sooner, because rule of averages say that with technology, the older it is, the less time it lasts. As in, when you buy a newer piece of tech, it's going to last you longer than an older piece of tech. So the only reason I recommend, if you're comparing last year's to this year's, I'm going to say this year's with the Touch Bar, because that one is going to last you the longest. Yes, it's going to be more money, but I think in the long run, you'd be better off buying something not refurbished, something that's... I get that it's more expensive, and if you're on a budget, don't listen to me because you're buying Apple. But if you really want your Apple products to last, which my Apple products have had in a tremendous history of lasting, my Macintosh is back here on the floor still working. They're from the 80s and 90s. But either way, Apple products are going to last a long time, and you're better off, you have more luck if you're going to buy the newest version. So I hope that helps. But either way, what do you use to clean your Apple products? Asks Amazing Joe. I'm typically using this little... It's not here. Actually, it's in my car, actually, because I was picking up my jet black iPhone from someone else. I was trying to keep it clean. It's very hard to do. But I have that little screen cleaning cloth. It's just a very fine fabric that you can polish things with. And the other thing I use is just rubbing alcohol, which works really good on displays, especially iPads and MacBooks. When you're talking around them like I am right now, they get spit on them, they get fingerprints. Alcohol is a really great way because alcohol evaporates really, really quick. So you just get some cleaning cloth, go over the display that way. Anyway, how do you clean Apple cables? Asks Apple Toaster. I don't really clean my cables. I guess I should. What inspired... Pro HD is asking, what inspired you to make YouTube videos? There was a lot of different things. Until someone super chats something else, I guess I could talk about that. But to really dive more into what inspired me, I talk a lot about that on Hello World. This sit-down series that are edited like tech videos, but I'm not talking about tech-related stuff, over on Tailosive Talks, which is a bit more personal of a channel. That's not specific to tech over there. That is more broad about talking why I make YouTube videos, what I hope to accomplish. Everything in that series makes you know and learn about me a lot more. So if you want to know about that side of my life, please, I recommend you watching that series. Is the iPad 10.5-inch 120 hertz display really that amazing? Well, Jag Weber, it kind of depends on what kind of thing you notice. Obviously, I cannot show to you how glorious it is, but what I can say is the moment we turned it on, and you guys saw that unboxing video, I'm assuming, the moment I just turned it to its side and it rotated, it was immediately noticeable to me. But to be fair, I've given it to my girlfriend and let her use it for a while. I've given it to my father to let him see it. They don't notice that kind of thing. It's just a kind of specific sort of eye it takes to actually recognize that there's a difference in frame rate. Maybe it's because I work in video production and I'm used to seeing different kinds of frame rates all the time. I can very easily spot the differences between 24 frames a second, 30 frames a second, and 60 frames a second. So like frame rates is something I work with a lot. So perhaps that's why I appreciate this 10.5-inch display so much, is because as soon as I turned it on, I noticed how responsive and smooth it was. And if you do work in that kind of field, and maybe even if you don't, my friend Wyatt, I showed it to him today, and he's a gamer. He plays a lot of video games on his gaming PC. He noticed the refresh rate very quickly. As soon as I showed it to him, he was just like, oh, goodness. Wow. Like, he could tell. And he's not an Apple sheep, but he clearly noticed how pleasing that refresh rate was on the iPad. So it just kind of depends. If that's kind of something you know about, if you're aware what different frame rates are, then yes, 120 hertz is going to make a difference. But if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what frame rates are and you don't know what hertz ratings are, then you're probably not going to notice. But either way, all I want to encourage everyone to do, go to an Apple store, go check it out, go try one for yourself, try to find someone who has one, and then decide if this noticeable refresh rate is actually that big of a deal. And to me it is. I love it. In fact, I'm going to talk about this in tomorrow's video because it's already scheduled to be uploaded. Either way, it makes me want to use the iPad more than my other Apple products because I can text and I can browse social media on my iPhone if I wanted to. But now because of this refresh rate and how responsive and aesthetically pleasing it is, I always want to go to this, especially because with iOS 11 multitasking, it's so convenient now that I can, browse through Twitter, be texting someone at the same time, and also have picture-in-picture going at once. All of this at an incredibly high frame rate. It gave this iPad something it desperately needed, an exclusive. iPads were kind of being accused of just being big iPhones for a long time, and in a lot of ways they are. They're still running iOS, but iOS, I think, is becoming a lot more specific and unique to the iPad now, not just a bloated version of what's on the iPhone. And now with the refresh rate, it has something that your other Apple devices don't have. It's almost kind of a bad problem. It's almost to the point where now that I have this really high refresh rate, my iPhone feels kind of laggy. And this old 12.9-inch version starts to look a little laggy too once you get used to this. I didn't even know what to think about that. Like, it's the display is so good, it sucks. But either way, yeah, we need mods. We got moderators for the last stream, but I can't mod just anyone. So here's the rule on mods. I'll apply that to this one too. If you super chat $20, I know that you're committed. I know that I can trust you, or at least I hope I can trust you. Donate $20, I'll add you as a moderator, but keep in mind, when you're a moderator, you're still not. Here, I can block some people. Let me fix it. That's why I have the desktop. Jeez. I'm so sorry. Why does this always happen? This only happened this week. Okay. I think I blocked some people. Like, they turn around really quick too. Anyway. Los Santos Rescue Division says, was just watching previous live stream record and now you're live. Hello from Russia with love. Welcome all the way from Russia. Oh God, they show right back up. We really do need some mods in here. The chat's crazy. Are you making the merch like the one you gave to Louise for her birthday? Please, I want it. Yeah, Mikey, if you go to Tailosive merch in the description, there's two links. There's two stores. I separated them because I knew there were some people who were fans of Tailosive, other people who were just like Apple Sheep. So I have an Apple Sheep store that has like the Give Me a Break t-shirt. It has the I Love AirPods. It has the Long Live USB-C. And there's another site that just has Tailosive swag, in other words. So just like T logos and stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who I can add as a moderator. I don't like doing it to anyone because I'm worried people are going to abuse it. So late for is 2 a.m. What is it over there? It is 11:40 p.m. here. And I'm going to hit the road at around 6 in the morning tomorrow. Because I am stupid. Goodness, these terrible bots in the chat. I'm glad you promised, but anyway, if you guys can, please just ignore them as much as possible. All right. Opinionated Apple Sheep says, I'm trying to decide whether to go for the old 12.9-inch iPad or the new 10.5-inch iPad. What do you think I should go for? Well, clearly, I'm going to recommend, as I mentioned earlier, the newer one. And spoiler alert for tomorrow's video, which is going to be iPad Pro versus 10.5-inch iPad. This is the winner, and I even say that at the very beginning of the video. But if you're saving money, you have to find a version of this that is drastically cheaper than retail for it to be worth it. But, if you have never seen that 120 refresh rate, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. It to be to be using a downgraded iPad, I still think that the cameras on here, even though they're not as premium, you know, they don't have 60 frames a second, they don't have um, the optical image stabilization, they don't have those fancy features. But hey, there's no camera bulge. You still have the option, I think, back here to go to 128 or 256 gigabytes, which, on the record, that's still plenty, especially when you can only film at 30 frames a second. So it's very unlikely that you're actually going to hit that limit. But Vanine's asking a good question. Does it feel weird to go back to that to that smaller screen? And to be honest, and I'll talk about this in tomorrow's video, I know, but having the MacBook Pro be oh good, that's Kyle Crook. I know you from Patreon. Yes, we got a mod. Kyle Crook is now the moderator. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. It was getting a little bit redundant to have the 15-inch MacBook Pro as well as the 12.9-inch, because size-wise, these things are pretty similar. So it's like having two premium Apple devices that are both, you know, they run different operating systems. Of course, the iPad and the MacBook are completely different things, but the difference is, I don't like having two displays of different operating systems that are the same size. Like, I want the advantage of this being portable, but not quite being as small and as tiny as my iPhone. You know, this doesn't fit in my pocket, but it's still a personal enough device that it can be portable. It's very, very light. It was lighter than I thought it would be, and it's really made this thing feel more like a tank. You know, it's kind of tedious carrying the MacBook Pro around and the iPad Pro around, because they both kind of add up in weight. And this is so light and portable that I feel like I can just hold it on the side right here, and it's not that much of a burden. So going back to the smaller size screen is noticeable, but I would say it's not like, I don't think it's a disadvantage, because what I would rather have than a 12.9-inch display is a redesign. And I think that's what the 10.5-inch iPad is. It's a noticeable refresh, primarily because of this these bezels change, but for the most part, I just love that it's a noticeable refresh. If this was just like the 9.7-inch iPad, it would look like the same iPad we got years ago with the iPad Air. Design-wise, iPads haven't changed that much until now. Now they've finally altered their footprint, and the reason I didn't want to go through the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is this footprint has been the same for the past 2 years. It hasn't changed. We still got the same size bezels, and on the 2017 one, the only physical difference would be camera bulge and flash. Physically, though, it would all pretty much look the same. So that's why I wasn't interested in getting the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I'm ready for a little bit of a change. I've had this iPad for a very long time, and I'd be interested in trying to change this. So, anyway. I saw some people asking if I was going to get the iPad... I got it. If I was going to get the iMac Pro, Apple's insanely expensive Pro iMac coming out at the end of the year. I do want to talk about that because it's something that's extremely tempting, primarily because of that magic mouse and magic keyboard that comes in space gray. That's the only reason I want it. No. But, it's definitely something I'm going to try to get. Here's what I want to promise to you guys. And I've already started putting this into effect. In order to save enough money to afford the iMac Pro, I have to really skim down my spending. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm not going to buy the iPhone edition or the HomePod or the Series 3. Those are essentially already bought. Here's the thing. And Dan Miller, I see your super chat. I'm going to answer that just after I finish this promise. Don't worry. I got it saved now. I've got a super chat window that saves all your comments. So thank you. Anyway, I'm going to put aside about $1,000 out of my paycheck every single month. So can someone translate how much money that is in rupees, please? Los Santos Rescue Division. Thank you. Anyway, I don't know how many dollars that is in American. But either way, I'm going to be skimming down how much I eat out. I'm going to be not spending too much money when I have the opportunity to. I'm just going to be saving as much as I can. But essentially, all the money for the thank you guys. Anyway, all the money for the iPhone edition, all the money for the Apple Watch Series 3, all the money for the HomePod, it's already been set aside. I have made that money. I've taken it. I've locked it up. I'm not going to open up that safe where I've hidden that money until the iPhone edition comes out. And I'll probably live stream myself pre-ordering it. But I'm going to try my best to afford the very bottom of the line iMac Pro. Just the cheapest possible one. Which is still going to be plenty of speed and power for me, but there's just no possible way, unless this channel explodes at an incredible rate and we hit, 500,000 subscribers or something by the end of the year. If something massive like that happens and the super chat continues to be so generous, which I'm very grateful for, then maybe I'll be able to get an iMac Pro that's a little bit higher spec than the bottom of the line one. But I'm already stretching myself to afford the cheapest one because I feel like this is a revolutionary product from Apple that's very different for them to introduce, and I feel like my core audience really wants me to buy it. And I feel like you guys want to see me review that and use it, and obviously I would like to have it. It's going to be very hard to afford it. So I don't want to make any promises. If the channel stagnates and I start losing money, it's definitely possible that I won't be able to afford it. So if that happens, I apologize. But I'm just going to let you know now, I'm trying as best I can. Anyway, let's get to the super chats. Dan Miller says, how do you find the on-screen keyboard on the 10.5-inch iPad versus 12.9? Looking at them in an Apple store, the on-screen keyboard on the 10.5-inch does not seem as full size as the 12.9. Well, clearly, it's an entirely smaller display. Now, let me show you. Dan, this is a good point. The iPad on the 12.9-inch is virtually the exact same size as the iPad. Not the iPad. The exact same size as a physical keyboard on a MacBook. Keyboard size, these things are practically the same. Let me compare it here. Hear that, guys? 500,000 by the end of 2017. Let's make it happen. I don't think so, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. These keyboards are definitely not the same size. Okay, but what I really love about the redesigned keyboard on the 10.5-inch iPad is this swipe down feature that they've added with, you know how you swipe down to access the number? 5, you can have the at, the and, if you just drag down on the keys a little bit. That I found incredibly intuitive and really easy to use, and I can type on this just fine. I promise you. I don't think it's a reduction. Well, it is a reduction. I wouldn't use the word reduction. The keyboard is more of a concentration of a full-size keyboard. It still gives me plenty of stretch room, I think, for all my fingers, opposed to the 9.7-inch iPad Pro, which I found a little too constricting. And I actually prefer, honestly, this swipe down option of scrolling down opposed to having the full-size keyboard, just like a laptop. I've actually found myself being able to type faster on this, as well as the fact that I can type way easier in portrait mode, which typing in portrait mode on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, not really fun, because you can reach all the keys, but the thing is it's so heavy and it's so top heavy to be holding it up like that. So I like this form factor. That's all I'm saying. It's better this way. Anyway, this is my new favorite size. The Los Santos Rescue Division, thank you for your donation, says, love your content. Going to California from Russia this July. We'll be visiting Apple HQ. So excited. If there was only a chance to see you there. Oh, Los Santos, I wish I could meet you guys too, but I don't know where I'm going to be in July, and I don't think I'm visiting Apple headquarters anytime soon. I wish I could, but I got a lot of plans. I'm very, very busy, as you can see. I have to work overtime. I have to make videos in advance just to go camping for a weekend. So you guys are getting videos this weekend that I made all today. Today's been a hard day, gotta be honest, on this tech channel. I mowed lawns early in the morning because our lawns needed to be mowed, and then I immediately came inside, filmed 2 tech videos, one of which was published, one of which you will see tomorrow. Then there's some drama going on with the Tailosive crew members, unfortunately. I don't want to talk about that on here. There's not been any finalized decisions yet, but I don't want to act like decisions have been made. But there's some backstage drama, sadly, going on at Tailosive, so I had to work on that today, try to make amends. It's not going well. And then after that, I came home, filmed an episode of Hello World, which will be live on Tailosive Talks this coming Monday, which is when I get back, but I won't have much time to film videos when I get back on Monday. However, if you're a donor on Patreon, you only have to donate $1 on Patreon. You can see Hello World early this weekend. I'm going to post it on the Patreon page, and you guys get to all see it early. So, very, very busy. Does the drama involve money? No, it's not money. There's not a money problem. It's a lack of trustworthy problems, people not being honest, and I'm not going to say who. I'm just going to say it's not fun, and that there might be some changes in the future of Tailosive. Anyway. Should I upgrade to the 10.5-inch iPad if I already have the 9.7-inch iPad Pro? It's a good question. Well, let's see. What are you gaining? You've got the True Tone display. You've got a 4K camera. The camera on the 10.5-inch iPad's going to be slightly better, but really not that major of an improvement. The camera on the 9.7-inch is great. So you would be getting thinner bezels, and you'd be getting 120 hertz refresh rate, and you'd be getting a slightly larger iPad, which means all your accessories for your 9.7 aren't going to work unless it's an Apple Pencil. So, and you had to spend over at least $600 on that. So I'm going to say no. I think that's too soon of a refresh. I know it came out over a year ago, but I think if you have the 9.7-inch iPad Pro, you're set. That thing's fine. You've got a True Tone display. No, you don't have thinner bezels or 120 hertz, but you have a perfectly capable iPad that I think is going to last you another year. So I'm just going to recommend don't worry about it. Oh, Emmanuel, don't worry. It's okay to be late. Are you also having battery problems on your iPhone while running iOS 11? Asks Opinionated Apple Sheep. Would love to help you with chat, by the way. Oh, Los Santos, thank you. Yeah, I'll actually add you right now. Thank you. I appreciate your donation. Okay. You are now, Los Santos, you are now mod. Excuse me. The problem with battery life on my iPhone is I don't know what it actually would be because I'm running my hotspot on it at all times. I kind of use my iPhone's cellular data at an irregular rate because I'm using it to upload videos. I uploaded 3 videos today, and all of them are being uploaded via Verizon Unlimited. So my phone's being used as a hotspot wherever it goes, and it's also, paired to my Apple Watch, and I'm pairing it to my 2 iPads. So at all times, my phone has like 4 hotspot connections onto it. So it is powering a lot of data and transferring a whole lot of data. So it's kind of hard to tell what my battery life is supposed to be on my iPhone 7. Maybe it's not as good with iOS 11. It is beta, so if that did happen, I wouldn't be surprised. The beta has a lot of problems. Anyway, hey, I was wondering, since the Xbox One X was announced, would you ever review the Apple Pippin? And also, do you think they could possibly make a game console or just stick to the Apple TV? I'm not interested in reviewing the Pippin because no one's going to buy it, so it would just be kind of retro stuff. If I had more subscribers and I had a bigger fan base to where I could upload whatever I wanted and it didn't matter and I would make money either way, then sure, I would love to review. I've got Apple Newtons back there. It's kind of Apple's low point. I've got 2 Newtons back there, and they still work. I'd love to review old iPods and stuff, but the problem is I could upload those and they wouldn't do very well. It would just kind of get a couple views from my very loyal people, but there's not anyone interested in buying a Pippin or a Newton. But, oh, goodness, we got a dual super chat all at the same time. First of all, Jonathan Pilkington, thank you for your $1 super chat. Anyway, Andrew, once again, you've donated. Andrew Michelet says, I wish I could watch the whole live stream, but sadly, I have to go to bed. It's 2 a.m. in Minnesota. Very sorry, Andrew. I apologize that you can't stay up later. I wish I could go to bed because I got to get up very early tomorrow morning, but I want to interact with as many of you as possible. That's why I do one live stream in the afternoon on Tuesdays and one live stream on Thursdays very late at night so that people in other countries can join the live streams. Sachin Krishna is asking if has your opinion changed regarding the S8? Yes, it has. I don't own it anymore. I apologize if you didn't get that bit of information. I've since traded it for the jet black iPhone 7 Plus, and then I sold my old matte black iPhone 7 because I was trying to sell my S8. I sadly could not do a giveaway. I apologize. I'm not to that size yet of a channel, but I was trying to sell the Galaxy S8 for about a month, and no one would buy it. No one would take it. Everyone was offering me way too little. No one wanted to pay for it. And then, funny enough, as soon as I tried to sell the matte black iPhone, sold the first day. No effort at all. Like the first 12 hours, I announced that I was going to sell the iPhone. It sold. So I guess demand for iPhones are much better or something. But the problem with the S8 is it started being unable to do very basic things, and Android was running into major problems that was just making it impossible for it to be my flagship phone, like my daily. I know you don't like it when I say daily driver, but that's what it is. No, it isn't true. That's a golfing term. Shut up. The S8 was nice when I first got it, but look, it doesn't have things like AirDrop, right? And I'm a vlogger. I video random things going on in my life, and I need to edit those with Final Cut or Adobe Premiere. And since it doesn't have AirDrop, a lot of people are like, well, you use Google Photos, right? So I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, Google Photos doesn't work super well because as soon as you finish backing up your photos and videos, they have to process. If they don't process, when you download them onto your MacBook, they're going to cost they'll be in like 360p. They'll be very low video. So you have to upload them to Google Photos, wait a little while. So first of all, you have to wait till you have good internet so you can upload your videos. Then you have to wait before you download them. And then the problem with the S8 is it started glitching out and it wouldn't back up photos. Now, I'm a pretty tech-savvy guy. I know what I'm doing when it comes to technology. I even know my ropes around Android. Don't think that because I'm an Apple sheep, I don't know how Android works. I've played with all the settings. I've done all the scans, the lock screens, and tweaks. It would just simply stop uploading to Google Photos. I would open the app, I would close it, I would restart the phone, and there would just be certain videos and pictures I took that wouldn't upload. It would just be an infinite loading bar. I restarted it. I disconnected the internet. I tried different Wi-Fi networks. And keep in mind, this isn't even beta software. This is just flagship Android. Stock Android, that's not stock, but Samsung's Android that they put on there just didn't work. And then I wanted to do simple things, and I think some of you were probably here for that. I wanted to live stream for the tech channel, just like I'm doing right now. So I did what I usually do. I opened the YouTube app on the S8. I hit go live. It works for a little while, and everyone in the chat's going, hey, audio doesn't sound very good. What's wrong with the audio? So the S8 clearly has a worse microphone. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice. The S8 clearly has a worse microphone, both for vlogs, which I noticed, as well as for live streams. And then 30 minutes into the live stream, it just starts crashing. The YouTube app can't do it. We've got the top-of-the-line Snapdragon processors. You got all this RAM. You got this beautiful display. But you can't live stream for 30 minutes. And it's not like it was a one-time thing. I tried to restart the app, and you guys, probably some of you remembered that. So I opened it again, and I hit go live, and I resumed the stream. wouldn't make it 30 seconds. It would crash again and again. And I didn't have time to fuss with this. So what did I do? I just grabbed my iPhone and started streaming from that. Flawless. Live stream to YouTube, no problem. So at the end of the line, you can argue about Android and iOS, and you can argue about how the iPhone's bezels are too big, and the S8 looks beautiful, and it has the better camera. Whatever you want to say, I couldn't work with it. That's my job to do these certain types of activities like vlogging and live streaming, and I couldn't do it. So I had no choice but to get rid of it. It wasn't like I could just keep using that. So yes, my opinions of the S8 definitely changed. Jesus Quiro says, Quiroz? Not sure how to say it. Just showing some support. Keep up the good work. I've learned so much about tech from watching your videos. Well, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate your donation. You donated $20, so that qualifies you for moderator. There you go. Thank you for your support. Every Apple product always provides the best experience any user can have. This is from Arif Ahmed, by the way. Except it's way too expensive. Do you think Apple should have a 12-month installment package so most can afford it? Well, Arif, I've never tried that 12-month thing, but I know that in several countries they do, at least here. But you have to apply for it. You can't let anyone borrow money because typically anytime someone attempts to do a financing plan, they take advantage of it. You know, they stop paying, and then Apple, how do you take it back from them if they stop paying on it? I know it would be nice if you could do that, but Apple has to look at it more from how are people going to take advantage of the situation? How are these people going to lose their money and not be able to pay it off? How can Apple take their products back if you can't pay it off? So it's just a little fussy that way, and I do want you to appreciate that I don't think Apple products are expensive. I think you are getting what you're paying for because there's not a lot of other companies that are taking the care into designing hardware and software. And keep in mind, when you're buying Apple's hardware, you are getting years and years of software upgrades down the years that haven't even come out yet. Like when I bought this, I didn't know I was getting Mac OS High Sierra. When I got my iPhone, I didn't know I was getting... Well, I knew I was going to get upgrade, but I didn't know what those upgrades were. I didn't know that I was going to get speed improvements. Now I can copy and paste files much faster. Now the Apple interface is a lot more smooth. Now my iPhone has iOS 11. Control Center is a lot more capable. I have all these beautiful new features. I can screen record now. It's just when you're buying into Apple, it is kind of an investment for long-term use because you're buying something that you know is going to last and you know it's going to get better because every year Apple updates their software to make it even better than it was before. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. Anyway, are you annoyed at the fact that Apple focused mainly on the audio of HomePod instead of the home automation aspect? No. Honestly, I think what they did was really smart, and it's something I think they would do. I'm really glad that they realized that when we're making a speaker, Apple is primarily interested in music. That is their core. That is where they started with the iPod, obviously. They have a big history there. And they're saying, how often do you really need to know how much fat is in an avocado when you walk in your room? Like, Google Assistant and... There's so many bugs in here. The Google Assistant and Alexa, they're really smart, but are they functional? And do we really need to put all this artificial intelligence and home automation into a speaker if you have your iPhone on you all the time? That's the different thing about Apple's smart speaker versus Amazon's and Google's is the Google Assistant is getting more popular, I'll give you that, but Alexa is definitely not easily accessible in everyone's pockets. They're trying to with the Amazon app, but Apple has Siri in our... God, get off. Stupid bug. God, that's awkward. Apple has Siri on your watch, your phone, your iPad, your Mac. They've got that everywhere. I don't think Apple's priority was, let's put Siri somewhere else now. They've got Siri plenty accessible. Yeah, there's a few iOS 11 bugs to work out. There's a couple bugs. I I have an electric fly swatter I should shock it with. Huh. I don't know where it went. Um, Either way, I think Apple wanted to make sure that if they were going to make their smart speaker different from the competition, it was going to be on sound quality, which was smart because they've got Siri on everything. They don't need to add Siri to even more stuff. So the HomePod essentially is focusing on sound quality first because Apple's got the digital assistant everywhere anyway. They need to improve that on their own time, but they don't need to make a whole dedicated speaker that's all about home automation and all about artificial intelligence. Anyway, Scott Sullivan, thank you for your donation. Says, if you had the iMac Pro, what would you use it for? So Scott, I'm glad you asked that. A lot of things actually. One of the mistakes I think I made, and it wasn't necessarily a mistake, it was kind of a last call. I was not planning on getting the 15-inch MacBook Pro. I was planning on getting the 13-inch because I prefer that form factor. But what I wanted to do was, at the last second, I had saved up a bunch of money, and I realized that I was really close to being able to afford the cheapest possible MacBook Pro. Like I was just a few $100s away from being able to afford dedicated graphics, which I knew would make a big difference in editing in gaming if I ever wanted to do gaming in the long run. So at the last second, I decided to make that upgrade, and I said, you know what? I'm going with the 15-inch MacBook Pro. So I could just barely afford it. I pushed over the line just a little bit to afford it, but financially I was fine. I was just kind of pushing it a little bit. But of course, in order to afford the dedicated GPU, the Intel i7 quad cores, the 16 gigabytes of RAM, this has been a great setup. It's very powerful. The one problem, though, is the 256 gigs of storage. I'm constantly filling that up. Every single time I make more than one video, I get that alert because part of this hard drive is partitioned to support Windows 10 so that we can do gaming on here later for the Tailosive gaming channel. Which is helpful on here. I need Windows 10 on here for Steam. I need because this can play like Battlefield 4. It's surprisingly good at it. This can play Windows games just fine. I haven't experimented crazy amounts with it, but Boot Camp is designed for that. And I run out of space all the time. And I think the primary big improvement with the iMac Pro is that I could have a powerhouse. Now, see, right now I have a very capable laptop that is very good at editing basic things and rendering things pretty quick. But I think what the iMac Pro is going to be great for is if I want to make more Saturday shorts for the main channel, those are going to be at 4K. If I want to make more podcasts, more gaming videos that require a lot of processing power, if I want to record Let's Plays and gameplay, I'm going to need an iMac that has really powerful graphics cards in it, lots of RAM, and a beautiful display. And I think the iMac Pro would be a great, okay, I'm home, now we have unlimited power. And then we have that Xeon chip, sorry, not Xeon, Xeon processors with 8 cores. I have all that RAM, that GPU. I have a terabyte of solid state, that's plenty. I could offload when I run out of a terabyte plenty of times. So I think that would be what I would use the iMac Pro for, is my more pro editing experiences that this is incapable of doing. Because right now, if I wanted to go back to making web series and I wanted to go back to making Saturday shorts, I just simply wouldn't have space for it on here. I would have to literally edit everything off of an external hard drive. So that is kind of the most annoying thing about the MacBook Pro. It was a very last second decision to get 256 gigs, but I clearly need more. Anyway, Veneer DGI Phantom, thank you for your $5 super chat, says, my annoying friend wants me to come to my old school for a party. I never wanted to step a foot on that property because I hated the bullies and the organization. Then don't go. All done. It's just don't go. I think the leaks of the back of the iPhone 8 is not legit because there is no model number on it. Well, the back, for anyways, keep in mind any leaks you're seeing of the iPhone 8 right now are likely not the iPhone 8 itself. They're likely um, hypotheticals made by case manufacturers. They're demo versions of the iPhone 8 that are being sent to people who make cases. Um, Foxconn is so nailed down right now and so under high security to make sure that no leaks are possible that I don't think any of us have actually seen the back of an iPhone 8. Um, I think the concepts we're looking at in the supposed leaks with the glass backs and the dummy models, those are accurate. I do think that the iPhone 8, which will be called the iPhone edition, is going to look like that, but I don't think we've actually seen one yet. I don't think any of the ones we've seen is actually directly from the factory. I think they're accurate. They're just not actually it yet. The real iPhone editions are being packaged up. They're being stocked up in Foxconn right now. Um, the people who are working on them know what they look like and are probably seeing leaks in the media and saying, yep, that's what it looks like. And when it comes out, we'll be like, yep, we were right. I think what we have right now, with that big etch at the top, that cutout with the two cameras and the earpiece, I'm afraid it's going to look like that. I know not everyone's into it, but I'm fine with it. The glass back, I think, is accurate. I'm pretty sure Touch ID is going to be in the display. I think it's pretty much decided by now. But keep in mind, guys, I'm going to be gone tomorrow through Monday. If there's people just joining, can make sure people in the chat explain that to you. The videos coming out on Friday and Saturday are pre-scheduled. They were made today, and I'm uploading them ahead of time and scheduling them so that this channel has content while I'm gone. But what have we gotten? We gotten everything Apple Pro in the comments everywhere? Whatever. We don't need more YouTube drama. There's enough drama in my life as it is. Anyway, Mark H says, hi, Andrew. I am studying computer science, and I would like to apply a job in software engineering at Apple in the future. What's your advice? If I make it there, anything you want to request? Ooh, I get a request. To recommendations, I'm just going to say, don't let... Okay. For anyone interested at all in going into engineering and science, understand that it's a terrible career choice. You're making the biggest wasted decision of your life, and you are going to regret every step of the way, and it's going to be incredibly hard to do. Now, if you still want to be an engineer, that means you are truly devoted. The answer to anyone trying to find a dream job or a career is, don't let anyone tell you you can't. When there's obstacles, and they're going to be there, you can overcome them. It's only a matter of the human spirit. You have it inside you to overcome the obstacles you're going to see. Don't let people like me tell you it's not going to work out. Don't let others say that you don't have the money, you don't have the intelligence. I trust that whoever you are willing to work hard on something, to think intuitively, and that's what Apple's going to appreciate. Apple is looking for people who want to put all of their efforts towards something, really give it their all, and I'm sure you're going to make it. And requests, if they haven't made it by the time you get there, augmented reality glasses would be amazing, as well as make sure they're getting down on that Apple car, a real car, not software, like self-driving car to compete with Tesla. Anyway, we got a super chat. Zach Levesque says, when will Apple release the 4K Apple TV? Keep up the great work. I don't watch everything Apple Pro anymore. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to take people away from everything. I don't mean to take people away from everything Apple Pro. I think he's a fine YouTuber. I've been unimpressed with his videos, but I'm subscribed to the guy. I watch his videos. If you can't tell, I'm losing my voice. It's because I've been filming videos all day. I filmed 4 videos today, and then when I wasn't filming videos, I was having a powwow with my friends about the whole Tailosive situation. Anyway, I don't know when Apple's going to release the 4K Apple TV, and I think a big theory I have is, are they going to have HDMI 2.0, or are they going to do USB-C? Because there's a USB-C port on the Apple TV already, but it's only for maintenance, which is odd. Guys, isn't it weird that there is one Apple product that doesn't have a headphone jack and has a USB-C port? It's the Apple TV. There's no headphone jack, and there's USB-C. But if they do make the switch to 4K, I remember reading about that rumor, and I was like, oh, that's great. They should make that switch. You know, they're making 5K iMac displays. Why can't the Apple TV support 4K? I'll say, I don't know. It's really a wild card, but I'm gonna place money in December. Like when they unveil the iMac Pro for purchase, that's when. Jesus Quiroz, sorry for pronouncing it incorrectly. That's how you pronounce it. Quiroz says, Adobe Premiere 2017 or Final Cut? My last name's pronounced Quiroz. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it when you tell me how to pronounce it. I don't mean to offend. I'm going to say Final Cut because that's what I'm using now. However, both are very capable. I used Premiere for 4 years. I used Final Cut for 2 years before I used Premiere, and now I'm back to Final Cut because Adobe Premiere's optimization for the MacBook Pro is not there. It's gone. I can't edit 4K videos in Premiere on my MacBook Pro. It'll crash, which is weird because the hardware inside the MacBook Pro is perfectly capable because I edit 4K videos in Final Cut Pro. There's no problem. It doesn't even get hot. And yet Adobe Premiere uses up your battery quicker. There's no touch bar support. When you export, the battery life on this thing shrinks down to 1 hour. And when you're exporting on Final Cut, no problem. Exports faster, battery life doesn't die down. So for me, if you're an Apple person, you use Final Cut Pro. If you don't have Apple products, then you don't have a choice. You have to use Premiere. You can't have Final Cut. Anyway. Where did the name Tailosive come from? Please answer. I've been asking for ages. Well, Alex, you haven't been watching for ages because the answer to that has been on Tailosive Talks for a long time. But because I get that question so much, I have already edited and uploaded. It's not public yet, but the next episode of Hello World on Tailosive Talks is all about the origin of the Tailosive name, which will go live on Monday. However, if you donate just $1 on Patreon, you get to see Hello World early. So you'll have the whole weekend to watch that. And again, keep in mind, I'm going to be gone this weekend, which means if there's big iPhone 8 leaks, if there's big Apple rumors, neural engine, I don't know, augmented reality patents, if any big stuff goes down, you're not going to get a video about it until Monday at the soonest. Probably not Monday because I'm not coming home till late, so I might not have time to make a video. So you might not get another tech video that's after this camping trip until Tuesday. But believe me, you'll get this live stream after it's live. You'll get pre-recorded videos that I've made 2 today, so you'll have one Friday and Saturday. There will be stuff for you to watch, regardless. When will job openings at Tailosive be opening up? Asked Scott. Well, right now I can't even pay the guys who are working, so there's not necessarily job openings yet. There's internships, I guess, you can edit for free. But you shouldn't do that. That's just free manual labor. It's not fair. In Pro HD, how do you have money to buy all these products to review? I'll warn you, I don't have that much to spend. Essentially, what YouTube allows me to buy is Apple products to review and the necessities. I'm not living life top tier. I am basically paying for these Apple products and paying for rent, gas, car insurance, cell plan, food, groceries, and once or twice a month I like to take Louise out to a nice dinner because she's a queen and she deserves it. But for the most part, I don't burn money on anything. I can't afford fidget spinners. I would have one by now if I could. But I really don't spend a ton of money on anything else than Apple. When it comes to swag, when it comes to merchandise, I don't spend a lot of money on all that. All my clothes are hand-me-downs. I didn't buy this Spreadshirt. Spreadshirt, who prints these, sent this to me for free in order for me to give them a shout-out, and I gladly would give them a shout-out because they're a great company. And they said if I gave them a shout-out, they would send me 2 free t-shirts, so I got 2. I wouldn't buy these myself because I can't afford them. I know it's hypocritical that I ask you to buy them, but there's very little excess in my life for budget. All the money goes to the Apple products and my technology that I use to make more videos. Thank you for your donation, Charlie. Do you think the guy with the AR tech on Planet of the Apps was taken, purchased, or Apple already had the idea? Oh yeah, I watched Planet of the Apps. We haven't talked about that. Have we? I can't remember. It was weird. I watched the first episode of Planet of the Apps. I don't know if more episodes have coming out, but I was like, this feels instantly dated out the door because the first episode was about that guy who has augmented reality technology, and he was supposedly saying that he was one of the few companies that actually works on that. And now, a week before that show aired, Apple unveiled ARKit. So now all developers can do that. So, like, they're using outdated technology in the show, and there's already things that are outdated by the time it's coming out because they filmed all these episodes a long time ago. And technology changes so fast that I'm trying to figure out who would like Planet of the Apps. Because a lot of it is business based, and I admit I found that kind of interesting, that it's following the business ideas of app developers. But is that something that people would find entertaining? It's a little entertaining for me, but I don't think mass audiences care about that. This is like how startup businesses try to make money. Is that really that interesting? So I don't think it's a runaway hit. I don't think it's great. I'm not going to recommend everyone watch it, but Pro HD says, I am going to start a YouTube channel. What advice you give? And also thanks for inspiring me to start my YouTube channel. You're welcome. Again, Hello World would be an insightful series for you guys to watch. There's a lot about starting my YouTube channel on there, but don't wait for tech. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the right camera, the right editing program. All you need to start a YouTube channel is a smartphone. Smartphones have perfectly good cameras. Doesn't matter if they're at 60 frames a second or at 4K. If you can record a video and you can edit it, you can make a YouTube channel from your phone. I've done it. Tailosive Talks now has edited content, but when it first started, all of Tailosive Talks was made on an iPad. It was vlogged with an iPhone and then edited in iMovie, and there are ways to be entertaining, insightful, with very basic tech, and all I can say is, whatever you make at first, it's not going to be good. Everyone makes crap in the beginning, and the only way to make yourself good at producing content is to keep trying. You got to keep making more stuff. You got to keep putting more time into it, and over time, your content will suddenly not be as bad. And every time you try to upgrade, every time you try to make each video a little bit better than your last one, eventually you end up where I am, where you've made movies for 8 years, and every time you make one, you try to understand how to make them better, and hopefully you can find an audience so that you can actually make this a full-time job. Which I have, and it's been going pretty good for the first month I've been doing it. It definitely could change. This is not permanent at all. This could all crash and burn next month. I don't know, but you guys being so supportive is very, very encouraging, and I appreciate all of your guys' support just by watching videos. I saw Big Time Apple Sheep in there. I'm going to sum up the chat's spinner ideas. Apple, forget spinner, that's $100. That has bearings of the A11. No. Anyway, you are the best YouTuber at this time. I stopped watching Techno Buffalo from the day I subscribed you. What? I'm glad you guys like me, but you definitely don't have to. You don't have to stop watching other channels, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Why does everyone hate iMovie, though? Well, iMovie's not a professional editing program. I give you that. If you want your channel to have 30,000 subs, 50,000 subs, iMovie's probably not going to work too well. There's a few things that you just can't do. iMovie by default fade outs your audio a little bit, so it makes jump cuts really awkward because every time there's a jump cut, it has to go. So there's certain things in iMovie that just kind of prohibit you from trying to make things professional. But for starters, it's definitely not bad. A lot of my YouTube channel started out with iMovie. Even the tech channel. I was getting quite a few views and subscribers from videos edited in iMovie. It's not terrible. I'm not saying that you should never use iMovie. It's awful. I'm just saying it's not something professionals would use. But it's great for starters. I think everyone could start on that. Yeah, I'm sorry for the voice crack. If you guys are sick of hearing this voice, I completely understand. We don't have to keep going. I'm using iMovie for my German assignment. Yeah, it's fine. It's great and it's free. Tailosive should tell us a joke. All right. The Google Pixel. Sorry, it just made me laugh thinking about it. How stupid it is. Oh. That's a great joke. It's 12:20 in LA. Yeah, it is getting kind of late. You should sleep before it gets too close to 6 a.m. Well, after this, I have to publish Hello World on... We have to publish Hello World on Patreon. I have to upload the tech video and schedule it for Saturday. And then I have to pack. I still haven't packed yet. I got a lot to do. Veneer DJI Phantom, thank you for your super chat. Says, I don't like touchscreens. They're uncomfortable and unintuitive. Back in my day, touchscreens did not exist. Please roast me like in Refried Friday. Touchscreens are great. You should try the 10.5-inch iPad. It's got the best refresh rate of any display. Tailosive Notice B. Hello, JD1 Mine. What's your advice for my channel right now? Just keep making more videos. Try to make every video better than the last one. One good way to make yourself improve, watch the channels you enjoy and try to spot the differences between your channel and theirs. Look at their channel and say, okay, what do they do that I don't? How do they act versus how I act? And how can, if you find yourself bored while you're editing your video, how can you make it more interesting? As an editor, you have the beautiful superpower to make something not boring. That's what editing is. Editing shouldn't be dragging footage into a program. Editing is trying to make what you recorded interesting. That's what editing is. No, I don't watch Techno Buffalo. I apologize. Tech Genius, I don't like telling people how much I earn because then people will start to make assumptions on what I can and can't afford, and I don't like it when people tell me how to spend my money. You guys should look around. I've got a nice, beautiful television. I've got a lovely MacBook Pro. I've got an awesome smartphone. I've got a very capable smartwatch. I've got awesome tablets. I have a great video camera, excellent microphone. I get that none of these are the best in their class, but what I'm saying is I know how to spend my money wise enough so that you don't need to worry about that. Okay, it's a little personal. It varies a lot too. My income is not set. I don't think ever once I've had one paycheck from Google that was the same as the last. They go up and they go down all the time. So that's, I apologize why I don't like talking about how much money I make. That's just for me, but just trust that I'm using it as wisely as possible. I use the, what camera I use? I use the Lumix FZ300. It's right here. This is the microphone and camera I use to shoot all my videos, except the vlogs. I use my iPhone for that. This is a Zoom H6, and I keep that on top. Kind of crazy setup, but I like it because it has a touch screen, so I can autofocus really quickly. It shoots at 4K, shoots at 1080 at 60. Very good camera. No exchangeable lenses though, so it's kind of basic. But the reason I bought it was because it was capable of shooting high-resolution video without breaking my bank. Because if I bought something like the GH4 or the GH5 Lumix camera, I would have to buy lenses, which are far more expensive, and I would have been $3,000 into a camera, where this was just a simple $600, and I think it's good enough. The microphone ate too much chicken. I don't know what that means. I am 19 years old. What do you think I could do to make my Apple channel grow, as I need a bigger audience? Just, it doesn't happen overnight, Ishan. All you got to do is just stay in the current, try to figure out what people are talking about, and try to make your videos unique. Try to make them interesting. Watch the YouTubers that you enjoy and try to see what they're doing and how you can do that for yourself. It's not just about sitting in front of the camera and spewing information. It's typically more about putting your take on things, putting your perspective on the matter. People don't want to sit there and watch you list the features. The new 10.5-inch iPad has a 1080p 60 frames a second camera on the back. It has a true tone. We all know that. You don't want to watch videos where I just tell you everything about it. I got to be a little bit more interesting. I'm going to tell you why I think this is great, why I think this doesn't matter so much, why people focus too much on this, and why you should pay attention to more of this part of the product. Just make it your own. Try to make it interesting. Oi! Alright, guys. Rap for us, Tailosive. I need $100 super chat if you expect me to rap, you guys. If you want me to rap in this voice, good gracious, I don't want to try. That's why I said $100. That would be hard to do. Kabuchi Gaming says, Drew, do you have any good channels that really that show really good Final Cut Pro X tutorials? I absolutely love the layout. It reminds me of the old software I used, iMovie. Kabuchi, no one showed me how to use Final Cut. I think it's a very user-friendly program, and if you just YouTube search Final Cut Pro tutorials, you're going to find some pretty insightful ones. But personally, I wouldn't recommend looking up how to work it. I personally recommend just opening it and trying things. You'd be surprised how user-friendly it is. Just by dragging and dropping things, playing with certain buttons and seeing what they do. I don't think Final Cut Pro is a program that needs tutorials. I think you should just play with it. That's how I figure out things. I don't typically, when I need to know how to work a program, typically I don't Google it. I typically just play around with it and just see what I can do. And typically I learn more that way. It's typically faster that way. Apple Spinner SE in black. Oh, God. Apple will not make a fidget spinner. Goodness. My mom walked into my room and I had to hide the computer. Why? Because I'm on this screen? Am I that hard to look at? Well, I sound awful. I guess that's fair. If there's any last super chats or donations, now's the time, because obviously my voice is not doing great right now. So I'm going to wrap it up. I don't need to hurt your guys' ears anymore. Thanks for staying in the live stream for this long. Captain Kirk, thank you for your donation. Says, huge amount of respect towards you, man, for taking this YouTube path from the regular job. Your content is amazing. Huge success coming your way. I really hope so, Captain Kirk. I desperately hope that this channel continues to grow and that its income is also in continuation to grow. Again, there's no guarantees. It could all crash and burn, but I can guarantee you I'm going to give it my all. This is getting so much of my attention. I feel like YouTubers I know, or even friends I know, if they were going on a camping trip over the weekend, they would have just said that they weren't uploading videos for 4 days. But frankly, I can't afford to do that, and I know you guys enjoy the content and you guys want more from me. So I don't do that. So today I worked my butt off making more tech videos that are going to be published tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So you'll be getting plenty of stuff while I'm gone. And this isn't even the real challenge. The real challenge is I have a family reunion in July, over the July 4th weekend. And I'm going to be gone for I think, a week, or a little bit over a week. And I still have no idea how I'm going to be able to keep posting content for this channel. I'm going to have to make a ton of videos in advance. So that's the week I'm worried about. I'm worried about views and watch time dropping dramatically that week in July. I'm going to San Diego, and I apologize if there's fans I have in San Diego. I'm not going to be able to visit anyone. I'm not driving my own car. I'm going to be with my family the whole time. And this is supposed to be a getaway, but it's causing a lot of stress. I know you guys, a lot of you out there are so respectful and appreciative that you'd be okay with not having videos for a week. But honestly, financially, I cannot afford to have nothing for a week, because when I post nothing, I make nothing. And that's what I'm worried about, is getting a huge dip in income, which with the iPhone edition and the iMac Pro, which you guys want me to review, it's hard to save for those things. So I'm gonna try to make it work. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this one. I'm gonna rest my voice. I'm gonna post Hello World to Patreon. So if you guys donate $1 on Patreon right now, you'll be able to see the new episode of Hello World, which is all about the origin and meaning of the name Tailosive. Oh, Captain Kirk, thank you once again. Says, really appreciate your commitment and dedication towards your channel, bro. Hard work will get you there in the end. It always does. Keep it up. Thank you. You didn't have to donate twice, but I appreciate that. So I'm gonna wrap it up tonight. If you go to Patreon, you can see that new Hello World. Yeah, I told you this. You're sick of my shameless plugging. Oh, before you guys go, there's drama going on in Tailosive right now, especially with the Tailosive Gaming channel, unfortunately. So I'd like to apologize for giving a lot of you guys a shout out to subscribe to Tailosive Gaming when we're not necessarily sure when content is going to be coming there now. It wasn't something I expected. It's very upsetting that there's drama going on, but what I can tell you is there's a lot of potential and a lot of content going up on Tailosive movie reviews. My very good friend Dan, who's maturing a lot in his video editing and filming, he's not my caliber yet, but he's getting there. He's made drastic improvements. I'm on there occasionally. I do movie reviews with him. We talk about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all of that stuff, and there's a lot of content on that channel daily now. Dan is really challenging himself. He just dropped out of college to give his job full-time as well as YouTube as his side job, which is exactly what I did a year ago. So he's in my same boat. And I see a lot of gumption in Dan. He's been doing great. He's trying to do a video a day, on the weekdays at least, but he's trying to push himself to do even more. A couple days he does 2 videos. And I just encourage you to go subscribe to that, because I don't know what's in the future for Tailosive Gaming, but I do know that Movie Reviews is getting a lot of content, and he would appreciate all your feedback and your support, both harsh and positive criticisms. I'm sure he'd appreciate. He's a tough guy. He can take it. And I'm critiquing him too, so don't worry if he's not the best. But I would really appreciate it. Anyway, Jesus Kiros, one last super chat, says, wait, can you finally edit everything on your iPad? What is your go-to iPad? Do you think sleep tracking on the new Apple Watch is going to be a possibility? Get this man a fidget spinner. Yeah, oh, Hannah Jackson, longtime watcher of the channel. I'm going to add you as a moderator as well, because we need mods. Thank you for being such a long-time viewer, and thank you for, yes, and thank you for checking out Patreon. It really does help. I don't edit that much on the iPad anymore because I want my vlogs to be a bit more higher quality now, so I use Final Cut. So no, I don't edit on there. And my go-to iPad is the 10.5-inch iPad. I'm going to be selling my 12.9-inch. That's going to go. I don't care about sleep tracking. I think it's useless. I think that I really don't understand why people want to know how they slept because I don't know what you can do about it. As I wake up and, oh, I didn't sleep well, great. Or, oh, I slept well, great. I don't... Tracking calories burned, how active you are, I get that. That's useful. I don't understand what you learned from sleep tracking. Everyone talks about sleep track. What do you know now? I used to sleep track, and then I realized it was useless information. I didn't have anything to do with it. Here's how I slept tonight. Line graph. Cool. Anyway, thank you guys for all your donations. It's fine if you couldn't super chat, if you can't donate, it's not a problem. The best way you can support me is watching the videos and telling other people about it. The most glorious thing you can do is enjoy my content, find it entertaining and informative, and then share it with someone else. I have now just made one other person's day, and they now have someone else to provide them with entertainment. That's what really warms my heart. That's the best thing you guys can do for me. So thank you. And of course, the super chats and patrons is really nice too, because that's how I buy things. But no, I'm kidding. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and this is going to be the last time I interact with you guys. I don't know if I'll have internet where I'm camping until Monday. So, gonna miss you. I hope nothing too big in the tech world happens while I'm gone, but please check out Tailosive movie reviews and Patreon and talks, and you know the rest. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one. Good night.